Alrighty, I think we're up and going. Welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It is Wednesday, so we're on to small project night. Are you wanting to talk during the stream too, bud? I don't know if you heard a cat meowing or not, but he's going cuckoo. Anyway, it's Wednesday, small project night. Took me a few extra minutes to get things going tonight. That stupid mouse. I keep saying I'm going to replace this stupid thing, but I still continue to use it, but it was giving me issues. Looks like we're having a bad connection again, too. I guess we'll see how things continue and progress. I'm only at 8% bad, so we'll see what happens, but we're going to get right into it tonight. Working on Arkham, ARKHAM. It's kind of a variant of, it's similar to GSG, which I've done many times before, and the first time I tried to do this, it's probably been a good year since I tried to do this one. Time I was doing it, I got into it, and I didn't notice till I was partially through it that I was making GSG instead. And I mean, I had already done GSG, and that's when I got done. I was comparing it because I was like, "Boy, this looks like GSG," and I ended up making GSG. So I kind of farted around with it a little bit more, and then I ended up going on to something else. And it's one of these weaves that I've been waiting a while to do again. So I figured, you know, I spent a little bit last night, and then again today, kind of looking at the pictures. I've got 4 or 5 good pictures of it. Trying to figure out exactly how it's done. I thought about going and trying to find some tutorials and stuff. I'm sure there's some out there for it, but again, like I said, I kind of like to figure it out. And I did give it a quick test on some larger rings. I'm using rings that what I found was what they call the appropriate AR for doing this weave, Arkham. So that's what we're going to use here, but I did test it on bigger rings today with a bigger AR just to make sure I kind of understood. And I finally figured out where I was screwing up between making this and GSG, the difference between the two. So I figured since it was going to go well, that's what we was going to do. I added another one sitting in the side pocket. I'm still looking at 4 winds and cloud cover. I just need to figure out on that one. There's still a few things. I tried to test it last week, and it was giving me issues, and I was like, well, we'll figure it out. And then I was like, oh, let's do the Arkham. I know I can get pretty close on it. So that's what we're going to do. I do tape the first couple rings on, I do on GSG and some others too, and figured it'd probably be the easiest way to get this going. I do use my tacky stuff on occasion, but when I want something to hold on to a little bit better, and I'm only using a few rings that need to be held together, I'll end up taping or using twist ties or something like that to kind of help hold it all together till I get it going. But alright, let's go ahead and kind of get started here. Hope everybody's having a good week, having a good Wednesday. Really not a whole lot happening today. Getting warmer and warmer here. I'm almost ready for winter to be back again. Yeah, that's one of those. One thing I will say about these purples, for some reason, I always have to double check these. You'll see I don't know if I can show it, it'll show up in there. There's a little screw up, little nick or something in the very top of this. They got rid of the anodizing. I've noticed that it probably on a good 1/8 of this last batch of purple that I got in this ring size. Other ring sizes I don't have that problem with, but this particular ring size, which is, oh, that one's got it too. Actually, this whole batch. Yeah, there's one. I just happened to grab 3 that had it. Let me double check here. Was that a good one? No, it's the bad one. I might have to change up colors here, because right now I'm running at 50%. That one's bad. That one's bad. So maybe we won't. Or I'll just grab another 1/4 inch, because I knew some were bad, but I'm getting a lot more out of this one that has... They normally list that kind of thing, but yeah, these are about useless. I don't know what anybody would use these for. Now, I've had these for a while, so I can't really turn them back, but yeah, we're going to have to pick a different color. Because I'm noticing every one of these. This is at the... this is the last bag I put in. I probably had better ones at the bottom. But yeah, these are about useless. I don't know what I would use those for other than practice rings, because what's the point in having scratched up rings to make something out of, you know? It's one thing I do hate about anodizing. So yeah, we're just going to have to go with a totally different color here, because I'm not going to try to pick through that. Right now I've only found 2 that were good. The rest have got a little mark right there at the... Like I said, I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but yeah, it won't seem to focus in for me. I wonder if I block more of the camera. So try to... Yeah, I don't think you can really see it there, but yeah, they all got this little nick right next to the cut that has worn off the anodization. I had other rings where it didn't fully anodize, so you kind of get splotchy areas, but it wasn't. This looks like something done in the cutting process, because they're all in the exact same spot and look exactly the same. So let's see, what color should I grab to compensate for that? It kind of blows me out of the water. I wasn't expecting that. I guess that's what, you know, I would find if I was working on it. I guess I could do lime green and green, maybe? Be just kind of similar colors. Yeah, let me get out my box here. That's always my hardest point, is picking colors for the most part. I mean, I've had a issue trying to pick out the correct, or a new weave I want to try is one thing, but here lately, my bigger problems is picking out a color combination I want to do, you know? So, yeah, we'll go with a green and a lime. We'll just stick with that, I guess. Let me get my box put back up. Was not expecting that, so restart, reboot, whatever. And I don't think I've tried these combinations. I haven't. This is a little bit darker lime in this size than it seems like my other limes were, so might not be too bad by the time we're done. We'll just have to see, I guess. In position here and get back to where I was thinking I was going to be. So let's see here. That one goes over top, and that one will come down. And what did I do with that little chunk I was doing earlier? I don't know. I tried it once in what should have been the right size, but for some reason or another, it was too tight. Now, it could have just been the color anodization that I was using. See here. That way. I don't know if bronze is a little thicker. I mean, that can kind of throw off weaves at times. But yeah, it was tightening up on me after the first little bit I did. Oh, here's the larger one that I tested it on. Make sure I knew how to do it. Got that little much done. And like I said, I had a bronze one, but I ended up pulling apart. Should have been the right size, but for some reason just wasn't working, so I just took it apart. And now I'm going to try 5/16 inch in another color and see if maybe it was just happened to be those rings. I didn't measure them. I should have measured them. Normally that's when I'll find out that that's why a weave wasn't working, is because the measurements were just slightly off, which does happen. I'd like to say not often, but more than I would like to, but it's kind of the nature of chainmail in a way, especially when you're buying anodized rings. You know, if I make my own out of bright silver or stainless steel or something like that, I don't have that kind of issue because I know what to expect and know how to do them, and they know how to do them too. But sometimes things can just get off when you start anodizing. So, alrighty, yeah, now we're starting to get some progress here. I don't imagine this should take too long, since it's pretty close to GSG. Should be a fairly quick, easy weave. That's why I figure I'm going to do it in this size, then we'll do it in the bigger size. I want to do a full one and see what it's like in the bigger size. I might try one in square, and so I have a small, a large. I want to do the extra small, but I don't have the proper ring sizes, so I went with the wrong color. I guess that's the problem when you're running multicolored. And remember to switch back and forth here. But yeah, I'm going to do them in a couple different sizes. I'm going to try a square ring in it, see how it works, and finish that up later tonight, and then get the inlay coming out for tomorrow. Alright, these down. But, well, I guess we do have one of the grandkids spending the night tonight. Bubby's staying here. It's like everybody's getting a kid tonight, as my oldest and son-in-law. They are moving into a new house tomorrow. They're moving out of their other place tonight. Packing the rest of it up and getting ready for that move happening tomorrow. So they wanted the kids gone, so we took a kid. Other grandparents, they took a kid. My mom took a kid. We're just sharing kids. As that's one of the problems with greens, I'm not thinking about switching here. But again, I gotta kind of get back into that mode. The way this is woven together. Hopefully I'm having decent. No, I'm up to 15%, so I must be having some major glitching going on. So if you are here and there's glitching going on, I am sorry. If it's too bad, let me know. I can try to restart if it's not too long into the stream. If it starts doing it too late, I don't want to waste 10-20 minutes trying to get a stream going again just to be done in 10 minutes or something. So, and I mean, I could go longer though too than planned. But this is basically it for this. It's easier than I was thinking it was going to be. I don't know why I was having such a problem with it before. Now again, like I said, that was a while back, and every time I learn something, or I'll try something and come back to it later and it just seems to click when the first time it didn't. I mean, that's happened many times. So it could have been one of those. I keep doing that. Keep going over to the green for my second line. But it's actually pretty simple once I just get it distinguished from GSG. Yeah, I'm seeing glitchy on the Facebook real bad, it seems like. I don't see as much of a problem over on YouTube or Twitch. If you have any of those accounts, go over there and give us a like and get attached with notifications and stuff over there. And if you can watch it from there, you'll have probably a better experience than Facebook, it seems like, here lately. I didn't make any other changes to the system like I wanted to try to stream the way I'm streaming to those tunes, but hopefully it'll get worked out for tomorrow before we go into the inlay. Now I don't know if I'll get much done. I know, like I said, if you've watched any of this past week, that I didn't get any more work done on it after Saturday, really. I got one more row in Sunday morning before I got orders that were going to take some time, so I just went ahead and put it up after I did some rearranging to my area of my desk here so I can have more room for showing the inlay itself. Hopefully, though I did have to make some more ring orders because the orders that I did get over the weekend constituted a good group of my dark rose and frost dark rose and black ice, which I use quite a bit in the inlay. And I've got a little bit, so I can, that's one reason why I don't know if I'll get any done before I actually start tomorrow's stream, just because I don't have a lot of that. I'm hoping to get them by the weekend, but we'll see. Some repair supplies, anyway. So I don't want to use up everything I've got and then not be able to do it. That's why on a Saturday, I don't know if I'm going to stream on Saturday or not yet. Could stream orders on Saturday, possibly. Like I said, it all depends on the order. If it's a piece that's kind of open, then, or something I'm just kind of farting around with, I like to mix up weaves and throw something in between where it's the basic weave, but you can't call it that because it's a little different. So it just kind of depends. We'll see what happens. I'm still waiting on it. I made the order, but they were out of several things again. It's like, why did they allow me to order it and then contact me 3-4 days later saying you're out of stock? Then it takes a couple more days to get that all situated before it gets sent out. It's starting to irritate me a bit, but what can you do? I mean, everybody's got their own issues with supplies, so yeah, it goes down. I'm sure it's going the right way there. Why is it not feeling right? But hopefully, I'm still running at 15% glitchiness, it looks like. Again, like I said, if it's real bad, drop me a comment so I can go in and maybe restart the stream if I need to. Hopefully, I did my normal things on what I would do to fix any kind of streaming issue, but Facebook's just been having issues here lately, it seems like. But we'll do some more for tomorrow, before tomorrow. Now, like I said, I always record it too, and all my recordings come out fine even when I'm having streaming issues. So if it gets real bad and I don't like what's there, and we go through a whole stream, I'll throw up the video version of it instead, and you can watch it instead of the taped live stream that has glitches in it. And hopefully it doesn't make you take off if you're watching it later and I haven't got the new version up and you're like, hey, where's the new version? You can make me do it quicker that way. Because I do like having them up here. Like I said, I started doing it with the Chiefs flag, doing the streaming, but I'm kind of liking it in a way. It gives me more time and gives me things that I can work on. Then when I don't, it takes away some time from doing some things, but it's about like anything. But I'm definitely getting more done by doing the streaming. Plus, it lets everybody know, like I've said before, that I'm still here doing stuff pretty much all the time. There are a lot of times before, though, where my Facebook page and stuff looked kind of dead because I wasn't making. I don't want to make a ton of posts and stuff to drive people nutty. But I didn't want to keep just reposting the same pictures of stuff that I'd already done. And that's mostly what it was just custom orders with, color changes and something that I've posted before. And on occasion I might, but it was, I didn't want to bore people with the same things. And this is kind of the same in a way, but, it is live streaming, I guess, is the only thing that's really the same. Because, I'm trying to do it a little different every week other than the long-term project. And the medium project too, but right now it's ties and there's multiple ties. We've already made one and working on another style and plan on continuing and going to another style. Give it a few weeks. And they all start, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7:30. I know it seems kind of like an odd time, but I did pick the time because I was like, I want to do about an hour to an hour and a half. And I wanted to be done so I didn't go over anybody else's stream and start after others were done, other people's streams that I like to watch. So it ended up being 7:30, ended up working out pretty well because it gives me a little bit of leeway. But I will say part of that was to watch Sean's over at Mailwork stream. He's been having streaming issues here the last several weeks and hasn't been able to do a stream, which kind of sucks. That's why I always wanted to wrap up mine and so I could go over and head up and see his at 9 o'clock Central Time, my time anyway. I don't know what time it would have been for him. I think it was a little bit earlier. I think he's in Mountain Time Zone. I forget now. I just knew it was 9 my time so I could watch it. So I could go over and not worry about things like that anymore, but starting at 7:30, by the time we get to an hour and a half, hands are pretty worn out by then. Potty breaks normally necessity. By the time we get to that point anyway. So, that's what that all is. It's coming along pretty good. It's already gotten some length to it here. Don't know how good that picture that will show there. You can see the weave very well, but it's got some pretty decent movement too. I couldn't get nothing like this. I probably got 5-ish, 6 rows in the 5/16 version I did, and it just started tightening up way too much to deal with, so that's why I ended up giving up on that. And, let's see here. Back over, get the right orientation for my brain. I put it through and it automatically wants to flip over for me. So then when I get done closing it, it just goes into the flop down position. Folds over and down kind of just over those 2 rings you put it through. And then my next one will come up and goes through the bottom of the dark ones and then through the inside of the next one. I guess it's through the middle of both, as the other one goes through the center of the eye of both. So, I thought about trying to make up some video tutorials on basic weaves just to kind of show. There's a lot of them out there by different people. I was like, well, I don't want to. There's some good ones out there that I don't want to tread on their feet, and I'm not exactly sure how I would want to do it. Especially being so close up, they've got good setups to get good close-ups, and I probably can in a way, but my biggest issue, like if you've ever watched any of these, of me standing within frame, I keep seeing Facebook glitching when I look at Facebook, but when I look over and check my Twitch and YouTube, I'm not seeing the glitching. So that's kind of weird. Maybe it just does a different type of glitch where I don't notice it as much. I'm not sure. Where are we at so far? We're 23 minutes in, so could restart if I needed to. See, I'm at 13% dropped frame rates. Yeah, I kind of had an issue Monday. Some said it wasn't there, but I was seeing some, so we'll just go ahead and continue on here. And heck, this ain't gonna take too long. Because if we're 24 minutes into the stream, I've probably only got about 16 minutes of real work on this thing. With the talking and the stopping and the looking and the this and the that, I'm kind of digging this. I mean, it's kind of got that GSG feel, but it is different. GSG, I guess. I think it looks tighter, but I think you can use a smaller AR for GSG. I forget what the AR is on GSG. It'd have to be a little bit smaller. Just going back and thinking of the other ones that I've done in the past, what ring sizes I'd use. So the AR's got to be a little smaller, so that's probably why it looks a little tighter. This AR is 5.5 is what they consider. I think it was. I've got it written down on the paper over there. Yeah, 5.5 AR. And it didn't seem to want to work in a bigger gauge. Like I said, it could have been just that color. So I'm going to do another test in probably just silver, anodized silver, so it'll still have a coating on it, and see if it works any better. If it does, then I know it was just happened to be the bronze, and then, like I said, I should have measured the bronze when I had it out and testing it. Once it started not locking up, but tightening up and stuff, I should have. And it could be that it's just tighter, even though it's the same AR. But I will play around with that later tonight after the stream. So I'll probably get 3 or 4 of these done tonight. I don't want to do too many more than that. That gives me a good variety. Like I said, I want to try a square one. See if I can get a square to be good enough. Sometimes I can get a weave-in square, sometimes you just can't. If a square doesn't have an AR, you have to kind of... It's normally in between like 2 sizes is where I kind of consider the AR. And sometimes they'll work well, other times they don't. So we'll see what happens. Because I'm probably going to try the 3/8 inch rings and square. Since their AR is 6.2 on round 3/8, 16 gauge. I figure square will bring it down. I would imagine it's probably around the 5.67, so I would imagine it would work. I guess we will find that out later tonight. I'll pull that one in closer. That felt weird. Yeah, there's a weird burr on the end of that one. I'm going to get a good closure on it. So it's like, goodbye. See you later. But we'll definitely have this one done and working on the larger version before we're done with the stream tonight. I can already tell. We've got a decent length going already here. It's going to be a bit of a ringish hog though, because there's a lot of rings for, the amount of length that it adds. You're adding 2, but you're only adding about, time you put that other one in through there, maybe 3/16 for adding 2 rings. So it is a bit of a ring hog. But a lot of the cooler, neater weaves can be ring hogs. I don't mind them too much, other than, you just gotta buy more rings, right? If I do them out of bright aluminum that I make myself, or stainless, or titanium and stuff, it's different. But I do want to start making more stuff out of that. It's just more expensive, and you gotta find the right crowds and the right people that want to, get that. And I offer that in everything I do. I just don't have, pictures of it. I can easily make anything up out of stainless that I've made out of aluminum. Now I do make up my own stainless steel, and I should probably show off more of the stainless steel, but time normally, and because it will take longer to do anything on stainless and titanium and all that, because it's a harder, thicker metal, so it does take a little more time. This springback's a lot different than aluminum, and then a lot of the stainless and stuff I have been trying to weld up, so that always adds to the time and setup. And Need a little bit more room where I could have that stuff kind of out and ready. That's the biggest problem I have with it right now, is just to do all that I've got to do it, get my whole setup going, and if I get an order I got to take it all down so I can, wrong one, do all that. I mean, I'm getting better at doing that, so that helps, but a lot of people like just seeing the color, so that's why I end up normally working in a lot of aluminum, anodized aluminum. And there are a lot of different people out there, like Jennifer Martinez. She does mostly steel, titanium, niobium, and she's got a good crowd that will get that stuff from her. So I'd like to slowly get more people that are into that. Not because of the price, just because I like working with it more. It's just, kind of make what you sell more of, I guess, right? And I sell more of this aluminum, anodized aluminum, so that's what I end up going with. I don't know exactly what I was screwing up the first time I tried to do this. Man, it's probably been a good year and a half now. But it must have been something silly, because I can't seem to recreate what I was doing wrong other than making it GSG. But it's just been, like I said, more time, more weaves, the more things click. Because, I already know quite a few weaves as is, but there are some that I probably will never make just because I don't really like the look of them. Some of them look kind of crazy, but there's not a lot of pictures of them, so. And a lot of those are normally just made out of somebody that's cut, manually cut rings out of galvanized steel or something, so they're not great rings to begin with, So pictures don't come out all that great either, and you're like, oh, that just looks sloppy, but it could look cool in colors, you never know. And so that's why I kind of went with a small project Wednesday, so I could try to do a new weave and whatnot. I do want to make sure I try to do things that are feasible, so I don't want to start on a night and then have something not work. I've had a secondary project do that with ring size on the same weave, but that's all part of the trial and error of chainmail, though. Let me give a quick look around here. We're at 30 minutes. That's we're definitely over halfway on this. I could take tape off. We need to put a clasp on the end. Let me grab the clasp so I can start getting some measurements. Let's see here. Being how wide and thick this is, I probably just go 8.5 to 8 3/4 will probably give me 8 inches, roughly. Again, guesstimating. I never know until I actually get done, but getting more used to, how thick a bracelet is, how much more length you got to add to it to get it to your proper length. And this one can be adjusted quite a bit with how small each double ring takes. You could really adjust this to be just perfect almost, the way you'd want it. Some weaves are chunk based, and when you take out a chunk, you lose, half an inch. So then if that's too much, then you have to come in and just have some extra rings at the end and just single 1-in-1 to make up for the difference. But this one, I think you could easily just shrink down to what you need and what you want. Because like I said, it's about 3/16 for every 2 that you end up adding, approximately. We'll add on that clasp here in a minute and check the length. I mean, I know I still got a while to go, but I'm kind of curious how long we actually are right now with the clasp on one side. I imagine the way it's flat there, probably one single Though I wonder, should I go with a smaller one for my connector? I have to get some more rings out if I do that. But it'd probably be better if I go a little smaller. 3/16 inch to hold the clasp on, probably a good size to go with. Now that I think about it, I guess I'll go end on a lime so I can end out with lime, so I don't have to use two colors. So go lime 3/16, 18 gauge. Just saying it so my brain can remember it when we go to pull that out. I'll do it here in a moment. Get a few more of these going in, get a little more length going, then we'll put that on there. Yeah, I'll get the rings out first, then put them on there. Now, though my lime, like I said, I think this was a little darker than the other size lime rings. I guess I'll have to check that out too when we pull them out. And, you know, that's kind of the nature of anodizing rings, though. You know, if you kind of want to, the shading can change from batch to batch. They try to keep them within a certain range, and they're normally within the range, which isn't bad, but sometimes there can be a excuse me. You can be, oh man, a little bug caught in the throat there, yeah. If you're on the upper side of the color variation, and the next batch could be on the lower side of that color discrepancy, then there's a bigger difference. You know, if they're just if you want to call it 10 points between top and bottom, you know, if you're at 6 and 4, not a big change, but if you're at 1 and 9, it can look quite a bit different. I've had that happen many times. So I'd normally try to make sure I get batches at the same time, so I can, if I want to do a whole set, like a necklace, earring, bracelet set, they all are there. As long as they're all the same size. I've made a few sets where the sizing between the bracelet and the necklace was different size rings, and most time you're close enough where you're not noticing a big difference. But I've had it happen a few times where my ring colors between 3/8 and 1/4 inch were quite a bit different. I mean, and they weren't a mixed thing, you were just trying to make a match set, so that didn't work out too well on that one set. Most of them come out pretty decent, though. They're close enough where they're not super noticeable. I mean, if you put them right next to each other and you're like studying it, you know, you'll be able to tell then. But here's the broken ring. Well, that's about standard, getting broken rings in these. And I wouldn't call them just half-cut rings because they're into coil rings. Okay, I need to go ahead and get out the little one so I can get a lobster clasp going. I need to be able to, I know we still got a couple inches to go probably, but I don't want to start going too far. I know there was about 6 months ago I was working on a bracelet. Well, it started off as a bracelet and I just kept working on it and wasn't paying attention. Next thing I know, I'm necklace length. What is that one? It's weird. Because I just kept going, not thinking about it, and you know, I got up to like 12, 13 inches. I was like, oops. Alright, grab my lime here. We want 3/16, 18 gauge, right? Yeah, actually not too bad, closeness wise, so we'll go ahead and go with that. Probably could have just pulled out a couple, not have to keep them out, but what the hey, right? Alright, well, there's my clasp. Go. Well, we might actually go with 2. Just so it gives a little more playing room with the movement of the lobster clasp. So if it needs to twist a little bit more, 2 will give it a little extra room to be able to get in there and do its job. Pull that tape off. Yeah, we'll go with 2. I think 2 would be better. Could go with the 1. Let's see, would it be laying the right way? Yeah, it's one of those that are cockeyed, so the natural lean is halfway in between. So normally 2 do work better for me anyway. At least in my head. Gives you a little more play on the direction that the lobster clasp can lay. It can twist a little more that way or that way if it needs to. So now let's see here. With the lobster, we're just under 7. It's about 6 3/4. So that's where we're at there. Let's see where we stopped here. Pliers back into place. I'm still running 12% drop frame rates. Wish I could see. Well, no, it's still. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of that same. I can see on the when I watch it on Twitch or YouTube, it runs fine. At the same time, while you're looking at the Facebook, it's glitchy. So, like I said, if Facebook is too glitchy, let me know. And we're going to start running to that point of no return where I wouldn't want to stop it and try to restart the stream. So if it is glitchy for you, like I said, find us on the YouTube channel or on our Twitch channel. And seeing definitely a lot less issues there. And I'm going to have to try something a little different for tomorrow before we start doing the inlay again. Might end up doing a test stream during the day after I make some changes, because I'm definitely going to make that one change I was talking about and add it in manually instead of letting the auto part do it. And hopefully we don't have any more issues. Seems like there's always a little something going on. Fast internet's not always fast. I don't know how much other people are streaming in the house though either. I don't know if the son could be playing online gaming. That always takes a good chunk. Good chunk of stuff. Well, I think the daughter is doing some school work on her laptop. Her courses. So that might be eating up a little bit too. Or it could just be the internet's having issues. Maybe they're having issues too. They normally don't holler at me too much during a stream, so if they're having issues, I wouldn't know till afterwards. Unless they post into the stream. Hold it down. Off we go. So if I need an inch, I'm getting about 3/16 each time. I need to add about, let's see, 6 doubles. Probably 8 double to give us another inch, and like I said, I want to take it out to about 8.5 in the straight line. So that hopefully gives us around that 8 on the measuring device. Come on, get on through there. But like I said, I am kind of digging this weave. It's definitely kind of cool. It's a little flatter, a little oh, I put that one through the wrong place. I was like, boy, that's not looking right. Now I did like a opposite of GSG on that one. Instead of like, I consider this like a half GSG, the way it weaves together. I guess if you would have started on this, then you know, when you go to, if you only know this one, then do GSG, it'd be a little different. It'd feel different. It'd be like doubling Arkham. Or however you might pronounce this weave. It's one thing I've tried to find out how to pronounce some of these weaves, but they're kind of hard to find the actual sounding out of it. So I'm not sure how this is actually pronounced. I got that with several weaves. I'm not sure how to pronounce them. I give them what I consider I would say it like, but I've found on a few occasions I have been saying it wrong. Most of the time I'm pretty close, or, you know, but it is what it is, right? thought I did something wrong on that one too, but nope. You always have that one ring that kind of go a little wonky till you get this one put through. And this kind of locks those two back down. Doesn't let the one go flopping away on you. And then the second one tightens her all down. Because this one kind of holds that one from flopping around. Because this one can't flop the way it goes through. That first one can. We'll put in this and one more light green, and we'll give a quick measure. Or not light green, lime. Because I want to end on a lime since I started on a lime. So we gotta be getting pretty close to the length here now. It's getting there by the time I add on the other two. And we're right at 8. And it takes, let's do 4 more of each here, I guess. Probably what I'm going to do. See how that works. Any comments anywhere? And I am down to 11%. That's better than 15, but still might be a little glitchy on the YouTube or on the Facebook side. Again, I apologize if it's too much of a hassle to watch it that way. If it's a major issue, like I said, I will reload up the recorded video later. If I have to, that's where I record everything just in case. In case the stream has issues and it's not noticed till the end or something, I can upload the good stuff. Because even when the stream has issues, the recording seems to come out pretty good. As good as I would expect them to anyway. They normally don't. I only had one problem, that's when I was actually using the computer. It was doing some other stuff in the background and chewing up resources, and I didn't realize it was running at the time, and it did screw up the video, made the video glitchy, but I make sure that's all shut down anymore for when I'm doing the streaming, so. But if you haven't checked out Thursday nights and seen the new inlay, you should give it a check out. It's looking pretty good. Last week's video had a kind of a funny little chunk in it with pulling the chainmail in a certain direction made my homes look really goofy. I actually had to change it up pretty quick because it's driving me bonkers looking at it, because it's just like, that's just too goofy. That's just too goofy, man. But yeah, you know, most of it, we're down into the mouth and chin area now for the most part. I think it's the next little area that'll start showing up. So I think you can easily pick out what it is now. I mean, if you're from Kansas City, like I said, you probably already know, but I've got a friend who's not into football, and I pulled it out and showed him without telling him who it was. He knew who it was, so that made me feel a little good that it at least resembles enough of Mahomes that it was recognizable. I was kind of worried, you know. I can look at stuff without, you know, that kind of problem, but I'm used to it and I know what I'm looking at. Plus, when I'm making it, it just makes it harder not to see it. So it's good when other people can look at it and it's recognizable to them too. Alright, let's see how far we are now. This always wants to give it a little natural curl to it, I guess. Yeah, we're at 8 1/4-ish, and by the time I add my 2 ends here, we'll probably be right around that. We'll see what happens. Put it on the ringer and see where our size leads us to. No, I think I got out of frame there. Kind of came in backwards to it, so I pulled it closer so I could see where I was coming in from. Alrighty, come on. Just a little bit more. There you go. Alrighty. Still got a bracelet on there from last week. Alright, let's clasp it up here and see what kind of length we're running. And it all seems pretty good, tight-wise, flipping. And we're just at 8. So, Guess that one pretty good too. There's been a few I was a little off, but that one came out right at 8, so that's what it looks like. Let me see if I can get a better picture of it now. And where are we at here? 49 minutes, so probably got about 40 minutes into it to finish that off. Trying to look at my video. So, there's that. So we can go ahead and put that up and try the bigger version. Well, bigger version 2.0. We'll see. Like I said, the 5/16 might work in a different color. I needed to still test that. This will definitely be looser, but it will give me a better idea if square might work, which, again, is going to be something else I want to try. I don't make everything into square, but if it's an option and I can work it in. Square is a little more of a PITA, P-I-T-A, if you know what that means. To work with, just because they're square, they're a little thicker, a little harder, and they harder to close up and get a nice, good closure on them because of the way you coil. You kind of get a shift. So when you cut and you bring back that shift, when you're cutting a square, round's okay because it's round. But when you're doing square and you got that little shift, when you try to line them back up, you're just a little tweaked off. I mean, not like this, but you are just a little bit. So sometimes you can get the corners, and if you play with them enough, you can kind of get that part straightened out. But again, it just takes longer to do so. And they are a little more expensive because there's more metal in a square than a round. And everything's based off of weights. So, alright, we're just going to continue on the test piece that like I said, that I started. You can definitely see that it's more open than this. This one's definitely tighter. A little more open, but we're going to go ahead and just kind of do it, see what it's going to end up being like. I guess I will have to pull out some more rings for it here. Now, let me grab my drink real quick. As we should be able to finish this one up too, because bigger rings shouldn't take nearly as long to do. And being that this has more play in it, that'll give it more length. So, more length in a quicker amount of time anyway. Fold it down. I just gotta remember now I'm changing up colors, and definitely weird that it said how big these rings are compared to what I was just working with. But that's why I wanted to start with it, just to make sure I knew which direction things needed to go. And while I wanted to kind of do a test piece, I did that about an hour and a half before the stream. I worked on it probably 20 minutes on the one chunk that didn't work, and then this one. And I was like, well, if I use the size they call for, it should work, so I didn't test it. I wanted to kind of show it from start to end. I figured, well, if we get done and I can move on to more, I'll just continue this one up. And if somehow, in some reason, we get far enough along and I can grab some square wire, we might end up showing a little square wire of this week. Who knows? Depends on how long everything takes. But yeah, this one's definitely a bit quicker and easier just because of the rings being so big. These are 3/8 inch rings. So it's kind of easier to get it through the holes. Plus, with it being slightly larger AR, everything's got more room to move through. I don't think this size would work for GSG. I don't think I've ever actually tried to make this size ring into GSG. I normally do GSG into 5/16 or smaller. In this gauge wire anyway. Though I do need to make up some more. I think I've only got a few pieces of GSG left. So I probably will at some point. I don't know if I'll show it on the stream or not, because I am trying to do more newer stuff on on the Wednesday night stream. And basically just weaves. I mean, right now it's small projects and it's working on bracelets, but I just want to get the weave worked on and try to do something we can finish up. I could do earrings and keychains at some point too. I actually want to start working on some bottle top keychains. Joshua's got a tutorial. I still haven't got his tutorial yet, and I'm not sure if I do mine like his, so that's kind of the issue. You won't see some of the stuff do it. We're just going to kind of show the weaving of the bottle top, not what we do to the bottle top, because I'm not sure, again, like I said, if it's like he does his or not. I need to get it just so, you know, I can see if we've kind of done it the same way or he does a little different technique that might be better. Who knows? I mean, that's one of the, like I said, why I like to try out, figure it out myself, and then get the thing. Maybe I'm doing it the hard way and theirs was easier, and then I end up doing it that way. Other times I stick with the way I was doing it because it was easier to me. But that is a paid tutorial, so I don't want to show some aspects of it. The basic weave of it will be a normal weave, so that's what we'll do, is the weaving part of it. To capture the bottle cap top. I've got a bunch of that I got that I can, and specifically to do bottle cap keychains. And you can use your own if you have bottle caps that you wanted created and used into a keychain. You could send those to me and I can use them to make them. It doesn't have to be the ones I currently have. I got some that are fictional, some that are real but not widely known, and then I've got a few that I've got myself that were from more regional stuff. So, and I actually got some blank bottle caps that I'm going to try to do some vinyl to, or do like I do the dog tags and apply them to the thing. You'd have to go look at the dog tags. They upcycle some of those and find pictures in magazines and whatnot, and put a laminate on them and press them onto the tags. And that's something that I could probably do to the top of the bottle cap too. So that's why I bought some plain ones to kind of play around with and just see what I could do with them. Try some different things. Haven't gotten to it. I've had those blank ones for a good year now. Still haven't done anything to them. But it is in the plans, in the works at some point, to try something with them. That's why I got them. And there's quite a few little things here and there that I've gotten that it's like, I want to try this, but, you know, didn't buy a whole lot, and still just hadn't got to it because I get so busy doing other things. Alright. Notice they're getting a little more twist in this one, but once you put it on your wrist and it kind of closes up a little bit, that twist will go away. Once it gets to something to hold it. I'm probably out of picture again. And I'll have to do a ring count on that. It's definitely over 100 rings, probably. Oh yeah, it's definitely over 100. I was just looking at it real quick going, how many rings are in that? And just doing a quick guesstimate, I'd say over 100, probably 120-ish. In between 120 and 140 rings in it. I don't think this size ring is going to take nearly as much to do to get it to our length. And tomorrow we'll see how the new camera setup works for doing the inlays. Seems to be doing pretty good for this. Now if I can just get the strings to work properly, then that would be nice. almost twist these all, but since they're so big, I can grab enough of them, I can almost twist them closed with my fingers, but that'd get really sore after a while. I can still do my little ones. My little tweaking definitely is easier with the bigger rings. Smaller rings, you have to use more of the fingernail and stuff. These, I can still just kind of grab them, get them into place with the fingers. And let's put it in there. Where did we start on this anyway? We started on pinks. Yeah, this is the original pink. I still got quite a bit of the original pink. The newer pinks seem to be a little bit darker. Kind of like the light purple and lavender. Close, but not the same. And then, did I say yellow? Pink and yellow. I don't think I've ever made this color combination either. I'm just kind of looking at things going, what two colors should I try? I think my next one, well, there's one in this I want to do. I'm going to try a red, white, and blue combo. I don't know how a 3-color combo will look in it, but we'll see. But I want to do I'm going to do a sky blue and an orange. I haven't done a sky blue and an orange yet either, so I'm just trying to pick odd colors right now just to mix them up. But like I said, you know, I can show off colors. It gives all the colors at events. You know, they're like, what other colors you got? Well, you can use this, that, and it's built into a bracelet somewhere. I just put a yellow here, and it's supposed to be pink. Too much yammering again. Yeah, we're at the point. Hopefully the stream's going decent enough, but I'm not going to try to restart it at this point. We're an hour in. It'd take me could take up to 10 minutes to get it going again, and then by the time I get back it'd be like 20-minute stream, and I don't want to do that, so we'll just keep going for the next little bit and finish up this bracelet more than likely, because I don't see this taking another half an hour to do. And then I'll decide where we go from there. I want to start in on some square before we close the stream if there's enough time. Oh, come on, get off me. Kind of just have to play that part by ear, but I meant to measure already again. Darn it. Well, I did want to end on a pink, so I guess I can do it this time. Even though I know it's way short still, but I'll definitely, yeah, I'll need to pull out another ring from my ends and get another latch or clasp. Let's see here. Without a clasp, we're at 5 inches. If I put a clasp on there, 2 rings, close to probably 5.5-ish. And it takes, let's see, if we start on there, it'd be 6 groups per inch, about. So we'll need to go each color 6 times probably to get us out to where we need to be. At least to give us getting close near that point. This one definitely, you know, taking out a chunk will change it up a little bit more. Because each one, you probably got more of a 1/4 inch on these. Yeah, probably more of a 1/4 inch per double when you put them together. So a bit more than the 3/16 or so we're getting on the smaller version. And like I said, I still want to do a smaller version than this. I want to use some 20 gauge. But I'll probably do it either out of stainless or just I think I already have enough coils coiled up in that size that I would need in aluminum, so I might just end up going that route. And just make a silver aluminum one, just to make sure that size will work, I guess. Before I order colored rings in that size, yeah, they should. I think they have 20 gauge 3/16 available in colored aluminum, anodized aluminum. Guess I'd need to look. But I think they have that. I think that's the biggest size you can get in 20 gauge is 3/16. then everything's smaller. After that, it's kind of like, 16 gauge. I think it goes up to 3/8 is the biggest for the basic anodizing. 18 gauge, I think, is 9/32, was it? Because they don't make 5/16 in 18 gauge. I do know that. I do have a bunch of 5/16 18 gauge. That's what I'm using for the wife's skirt thing that I've been working on for her for years. And it's kind of the ring size. I went with it. And they don't make that in anodized. You just get it in bright aluminum. So that's what I'm doing with that. I almost kind of wish they'd anodize it, but it is a little thin. It depends on the weave you want to do. So I can see why they wouldn't, in a way. And everybody's watching this and can point me to a place on how to pronounce the name of Arkham, unless Arkham is correct and I'm doing it right. I want to try to make sure I'm saying the proper name for these new weaves that I've been doing. I think we might even have a little time. I could pull out some of the weaves that we've done the past several weeks. I've got them all still sitting over here. I need to get them cataloged and priced out and get them put up. I still haven't done that. I just keep making them. Work them up, work them up, work them up. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't see nothing on YouTube now. My video went away from YouTube. Hopefully it's still showing and streaming to YouTube. I can see my Twitch no problem, but my YouTube seems to have gone blank on me, but that doesn't mean that it's not showing it there and something weird didn't happen on my viewing of it. So I'll have to double check that one too. Just having all kinds of issues this week. Happened last week too. No, a week before that I think it was. I was having issues, and I seriously don't think any of them's my issues. I think I'm pretty much figured out all mine, and they're all fine. It's either internet or Facebook issues, it seems like. Let's see here. We'll put in another pinks and then give it another look-see on length. Probably still need a little bit more to go, but like I said, I don't want to go too far. Yeah, I probably want to go. I can probably go 1/4 inch on my end rings on this since it's so big. We're up to 6 3/4. If I go there, we're going to probably be over 7. So I'll do a few more, and then I'll have to get out some pink 1/4 inch 18 gauge or 16 gauge rings so I can put my clasp on the end, and then finish her up. So where are we at still? Oh yeah, I got plenty of time. This one will definitely get done. I'll pull out some of the other bracelets here that we've done the last few weeks, kind of show them off real quick. I don't want to get too I won't get too far into the square version by the time I got out the ring, so I'd rather spend some of the time kind of a few extra minutes showing off the things that we've done the last few weeks then, to end out the stream for tonight when we get to that point. And like I said, check us out again tomorrow at 7:30. We'll be back into doing the Mahomes portrait inlay. And hopefully, if you do notice glitching tonight, you won't have that happening tomorrow. I double check, triple check on that night, just because anytime I'm doing video of that, I'm trying to take a little extra time. I mean, pretty much doing the same thing on both, but being I'm having issues, I always try to give it a little extra time to do it. And like I said, I might have I might do a half-hour stream or something tomorrow just to during the day to test it once I do some reboots of things. Because it could be that stupid cable modem again. Just needs to have a reboot. It seemed, I mean, that's why we got the new one. And it seemed to work pretty good for a while, but now it's seeming like about once a week I got to give that stupid thing a reboot. And that's why we got the new one, because the old one we'd had for like 6 years. And it seemed like almost it needed a daily reboot sometimes. It was just, eh. I mean, I guess this one's a little bit better. Causes less problems with gaming, I guess. From what I get from the boy and daughter. But still making me wonder if I need to just go to Google Fiber. Their up speed is so much more compared to cable modem. I mean, you get basically the same up and down speed on Google Fiber. And with cable, our up speed is crap compared to our download. Download's not bad, but the upload is just horrid. You'd think it would be better, but it's not. That would be, could cause streaming issues, I would imagine. I'm not into the, that part of it, so I don't know if it'd help or not, but I think it probably would. Alright, I'm going to have to get out my pink 1/4 inches now. I want to go ahead and get the clasp on and kind of get a judge of where we're at. This one's a little bit wider, so it'd have to be probably just oh, I put the wrong, oh, that's right. It could be, need to be just a bit longer, but I'll have to see here. Alright, pink 1/4 inch, 18 gauge. Let me give a quick look. No, I want a 16 gauge, not 18 gauge, that's right. A little thicker, make it go along with it a little bit better. They're definitely a little bit darker too. I almost wonder if I should go silver. Close it off with, I'll tell you what, we're going to put on a little bit of black ice. Because the black ice will kind of match up with the stainless steel clasp itself. Won't match the rest of the piece, kind of, but I think it might tie it in better. Oh, I don't need to get down there for that. I've got my black ice in my little drawer here. Because I don't have a lot of it. We'll go 4. Go ahead and get our... Oh, I need a clasp too, dummy. Medium clasp. Oh. Yeah, still just hovering right at that 10% issues. So, alrighty. And put Mr. Clasp on. Back over in frame, I would imagine. Yeah, and then we're going to pull the tape off here. And then these two come up. It doesn't look too bad. That pink was just such a drastic different color. It's like that's going to be too noticeable. It'd be better just to move on to a different color than have something that's close but not quite. So that's not too bad. Kind of matches the other. Let's see where we're at lengthwise. Come on, flip back over. Width though, actually. Yeah, we might already be a little long. We're already at 8.5. So I might have went an extra 1 or 2 extra long, or extra rings in it to make it a little too long, but we'll just see what happens when we get it put on the scaler. Might have to come back and pull out a couple. It's too overly large. As long as we're not over 8.5 once it's on the sizer. I don't mind doing a little bit taken out, but if we get up over that, I will have to take it out because then it'd just be too big for anybody to even look at trying on. Okay, well, let me get back into the frame. Yeah, I can already feel it's bigger on my hand here too. I've gotten kind of used to it. Yeah, we're at about 8.5 per center mass. So we probably definitely could have come out. Oh, let's see here. One ring for sure will get us closer to 8. I think 2 will get us just probably right below 8. But we'll go with that now. And it doesn't look too bad either. Trying to get it into view here. Definitely a little more open than the other one. Let me see if I can put the other one on here and you can kind of compare them side by side here. See the two different sizes in them. Our smaller version there is 18 gauge and the larger version is 16 gauge. Like I said, it's a bigger AR than what they call for, but it still came out pretty decent. I kind of like it. So we'll go ahead and call those done. Yeah, definitely easier than when the first time I tried to do this weave. I knew there was something simple that I was doing wrong. I still don't know what that problem was that I was doing wrong, but whatever it is, it's worked its way out, and now I won't forget. I got my little notes that I'll make about it, so that if there's any issues, I'll remember what I did differently. Let's see here. Trying to go grab some of my bracelets here that we've done. Oh, yeah, we've gotten quite a few here lately. Past several weeks. Probably won't even be able to show them all on camera unless I pull out the camera view. Where are we at in time? So yeah, about an hour 15. So we'll just kind of lay some of these out here. This was the halo that we did last week. Oh, this was the screwed up one that I decided not to do. The ring sizes weren't right. I wonder why you were in that pile. You were supposed to be in the other pile. Oh, so and here's the sunset or sunrise weave in some different colors. Here's another one of the halo weaves. Another small halo weave. Put it in between those two. And I might zoom the camera in here so you can kind of. What happened to my sonic weave? Supersonic. It's not with those. I don't see it. Huh. Well, there. No. Oh, here it is. It's in the bag that I moved out here already. So yeah, here's the Ocean's Waves, the Odin's Eye. Kind of do. Oh yeah, here's the purple Odin's Eye. Like I said, we've done it a lot over here. Here's another halo, another Ocean's Weave. There's the other Odin's Eye. That one. Here's the Supersonic Weave. It looks different on either side depending on what you're wanting to go for. You know, if you're kind of wanting that look, or you can go, I feel something a little different, and go with that look. That's definitely kind of cool. I mean, a lot of them are different on each side, but not in that kind of way. So I kind of like that, how that one turned out. I still haven't done another one in a different color of that yet, surprisingly. I did mean to. Forgot what took my time away. I can't remember. There's another. Where's your mate? Oh, there we go. Ocean Wave up there. And the Sweet Pea and the Byzantine. I think these are the first two we did just to finish these up when we first started. I know there's another couple somewhere here. I don't see where they went. Oh, here's that one. So we've done several different weaves. Learned some new weaves, got some more product going. And I know I've got another little box. I've got a little plastic little box that's got some others in it too. I just don't know where I put it. It was sitting over there. But anyway, that's what we've kind of been doing the last several weeks. Is what we've done just in the for bracelet streaming night for the most part. I might do one or two later after the stream, but other than Supersonic, and well, that's the other one I know I've got somewhere. It's in that other little box. I did it in a different color. I just don't know where that little tote went. But we've gotten some good stuff going. But let's see here. Can I zoom it in? Maybe I can just run each one through the screen real quick here. Come into that close. So that was the sweet pea that we did. Here's the Odin's eye. It's a neat little weave. The halo. And didn't it have a small halo? Yeah, I want to show the small halo. I can get it in the screen with it. Definitely a lot tinier. And you can see the big ring because it's paired to that little ring there. That's the connector. Show a little closer up of the supersonic weave here. That's on the one side that you get. And then your other colors are stacked on the other side. So that's that one, but we'll go ahead and kind of, not in, we need to come back out here. We'll go ahead and go out to full screen where we're going to be at tomorrow night. Like I said, we're going to, got more desk space back over to here now. This is almost to the edge. I can actually, I'll twist I'll be turning the camera a little bit more, twisting it down just a little bit more so it'll actually stop right about where my gauge is, which is about 1.5 inches away from the edge. And that'll give me another 1.5 inches back up over there. So we're going to go ahead and close her up for tonight. Just kind of throw some of these back in here so you can kind of see the pretties, see the colors. I think I've got almost every color represented. Now I guess I don't have any bronze. I guess I got several colors missing actually the more I look. I think I've got like 16, 17 colors of most of these in their sizes. So. But again, thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully there wasn't too many of a... Well, I'm actually seeing a little thing come up here. It says my current frame rate is too low for Facebook, even though the frame rate is perfectly fine for everywhere else. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and close it up for tonight. Thank you for joining us and checking it out. If you ever have any questions or anything, you can send us messages through a post or through private messaging, whatever works for you. It's all good. Hope to see you tomorrow night. We'll be back tomorrow night with our Patrick Mahomes inlay. Start 7:30 Central Time again on Thursday. Don't know if we'll do one this Saturday. Depends on how the rings count goes before Saturday. And so, you all have a great Wednesday night, and we will see you tomorrow.